Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children, we welcome to our online learning initiative Ekalaiva. Today we are going to learn a topic, transportation in plants. What do you mean by transportation, children? Is transportation means to carry things from one place to another place. What do you mean by transportation? This is to carry. See, we use this transport, the word transport, in our daily life, in our daily language. Okay, to carry things. Yes. We use vehicles to carry things. And why do we do this? To meet the needs of the people. Needs of the people. Okay. Sorry, children. To meet the needs of the people. Now, the same way, the likewise, even plants, they have a transport system which supplies food, oxygen and other minerals to all parts of the plant body. And they use special tissues. Likewise, as we use transportation in our daily life, even plants use this system, this transportation system to carry food, oxygen and minerals. To carry oxygen, food, that is prepared food and minerals. And how do they carry? By special tissues. By special tissues. Okay, children? Now, before that, we have to recall what do you mean by photosynthesis? Okay. What do you mean by photosynthesis, children? Photosynthesis is the life process where plants prepare their own food. What do you mean by photosynthesis? They prepare their own food. What are the raw materials needed for this? The raw materials are light energy from sunlight, carbon dioxide from atmosphere and water from the soil. So these are the three raw materials: light energy, carbon dioxide and water. Now these raw materials are transported to the photosynthetic site. This light energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll pigment in the plants, and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere diffuses through stomata. And this water is carried from the soil by the roots and then to the stem and then to the photosynthetic site. And now food is prepared by the process of photosynthesis, and glucose and oxygen are the byproducts. And oxygen is again diffused out through stomata. This oxygen is diffused out through stomata, and this glucose from the photosynthetic site is carried to different parts of the plant body. Now, as we saw earlier, so you can see here water and minerals from the soil, how it is transported to different parts of the plant body. So as I told you, there are two different tissues which carries this water and minerals and the food from the photosynthetic site. So xylem is used for carrying water and minerals. Phloem is used for transporting glucose. Transporting glucose from the photosynthetic site to different parts of the plant body. So what are the special tissues they need? They need xylem and okay. Now this is internally it is shown in this picture how roots carry the water through the xylem vessels through the xylem vessels to different parts of the body or to the tip of the leaf. Xylem tissues carry water and dissolved minerals up to the roots. And here again food is prepared in the leaf and excess water evaporates through stomata and oxygen is given out through stomata and glucose, the prepared food, is again transported by the phloem tissues. So phloem tissues carry food down from the leaf to other parts of the plant body. Now, first we'll look into this special tissue called as xylem. What is the function of xylem? It conducts water and minerals from the roots to all parts of the body. So it conducts water and minerals from the roots to other. And one more function is it gives mechanical support. The xylem is made up of lignin and cellulose. And this lignin and cellulose give mechanical support to the plant body. So the adaptations means they have a continuous lumen. Actually, xylem is a dead cell. Okay, they don't have cytoplasm and nucleus. They are considered as dead cell and they have a continuous lumen without cytoplasm and nucleus. So water flows through the xylem vessel easily without any hindrance. And what is the next adaptation? It has lignified walls. Lignified walls means already I told you it is made up of lignin and cellulose which prevent collapse of the vessels. Is clear, children? Okay. What is the function of xylem? It conducts water and minerals from the root to all other parts of the plant body. And one more function is it provides mechanical support to the plant. Now, this is the internal structure of xylem. So, internal structure of xylem, this part is called as the lumen and it has thick wall. Thick wall contains lignin and cellulose. And it is a dead cell. It has no cytoplasm and nucleus, and the xylem conducts water only in the upward direction. That is only in one direction, that is upward direction. Okay. Along with tracheids, both xylem vessel and tracheids conduct water only in one direction, that is upward direction from root to the tip of the plant. Now, there are two mechanisms we have to learn here, children. The two mechanisms are osmosis and transpiration. What are the two mechanisms, children? Osmosis and transpiration. Now, the first mechanism we are going to see here is osmosis. How the root hair absorbs water from the soil particle. Now here you can see the soil particle, and there are some spaces. In these spaces, water moves from these soil, from these spaces to the root, to the root hair, and this process is called diffusion. So the water from the soil particles diffuses to the root hair. Then from the root hair it enters inside the epidermis, outer epidermis. This outer epidermis, and this is called as the cell of cortex. Then comes the endodermis. Okay, children. Now from here, from this cell, it moves to the next cell by the process of osmosis. So I told you already there are two processes which is used to carry water from root to the tip of the plant. That is, first process is called as osmosis. What do you mean osmosis? Osmosis is nothing but movement of solvent from higher concentration to lower concentration through the semi-permeable membrane. So here you can see here, as soon as the water enters here, the solvent and along with the minerals, this cell becomes high in concentration. Then it moves to the next cell which has the lower concentration. So we have seen now osmosis and how it conducts water through the process called as osmosis. The next mechanism is called as transpiration. What is the first mechanism, children? Osmosis. The next mechanism is, you can see here, transpiration. Okay. What do you mean by transpiration? Loss of water from the leaf is called as transpiration. The small openings in the leaf is called stomata, and water evaporates through this minute openings called stomata, which is present underside of the leaf. Okay. Now here, transpiration, as the water evaporates here from the leaves through stomata, water evaporates. You can see the arrow mark here, and a low pressure area is created. Low pressure area is created here, and the water moves, it is sucked. The water is sucked easily by the xylem towards the low pressure area, and this pull is called as suction pull. And here the xylem sap is nothing but water plus minerals. The xylem sap is sucked by this xylem vessel to the leaves. Clear, children? Xylem sap. It is called as xylem sap. So this is the next mechanism. Next mechanism is transpiration. Low pressure area is created as soon as the water is evaporated. This low pressure area creates a pull and pulls the xylem sap to the tip of the leaf. Clear, children? Yes. Now, next one is translocation. Next mechanism is translocation. Now here, food substances. I told you already, food substances are manufactured, produced in the leaves. From the leaves, it has to be carried to all parts of the plant body. So this process is called as translocation. Translocation is a process of transporting food substances downwards from the leaves to all parts of the plant through the phloem vessel. Now you can see the structure of the phloem vessel. Now here you can see it is made up of It is made up of sieve tubes. They are living cells. It has cytoplasm, and the neighboring cell is companion cell. The companion cell has cytoplasm as well as nucleus. Okay, it has cytoplasm and nucleus. And nucleus. And this is companion cell. You can see here, this is companion cell. And this is sieve tube. And at the end of the sieve tube, you can see the sieve plate. Okay, children. Okay. And phloem tubes are living cells as they have cytoplasm. Now, you can see the internal structure of sieve tubes. So, this structure is called as the sieve tube, and the neighboring cell is called as the companion cell, and you can see the sieve plates. And how this translocation takes place in phloem cells, we'll see now. Now, food is prepared in the mesophyll tissue, that is mesophyll tissue in the leaves, and this food is transported by the phloem cells, phloem vessels. Now, how it gets into the sieve tubes? Now, here it needs some energy, but it uses the energy from the ATP molecules. It uses the energy from the ATP molecules, and this energy makes the food materials to go inside the sieve tube. And along with this food material, the xylem vessel, water from the xylem vessel diffuses inside this sieve element, okay, by the process of osmosis. Okay. And along with this water and food material, this phloem transports food to different parts of the body. This process is called as translocation. So they use ATP energy from the ATP molecule, and this food is pushed to the phloem, that is sieve tube element, and xylem gives water to the sieve tube, and again along with water and food, it is transported to different parts of the body, and it is transported both the directions, but in xylem only one direction. It is unidirectional. Flow of water is unidirectional. Here both the directions it flows. Now these are the differences between xylem and the phloem we are going to see now. Okay, as I told you, xylem is made up of thick walls. They are made up of thick walls stiffed with lignin, which gives the mechanical support. Then they are dead cells. They don't have cytoplasm and nucleus, and flow of water is only in one direction. It contains water and minerals. Okay. Now, what are the differences? What is the first point I told you? They have thick walls stiffed with lignin, and flow of water is only in one direction. It contains water and minerals. They are dead cells. They don't have cytoplasm and nucleus. Now we'll move on to the phloem. Phloem is a living cell which has cytoplasm, and they don't have thick walls as in xylem vessels. They contain food and water, and two-way flow. Okay, two-way flow. Both the directions, food has to be transported to different parts of the body. Okay, children. Thank you, children.